Hi, my name is Elle, and today I will be discussing my chord counter um, Android Studio project. We did this in class, in and out of class, and it's basically one of the Udacity basic user input lessons. This one was lesson 3. But it's completely different from what we were doing, or not completely different. What we were doing earlier was the Just Java. So lesson 1 and 2 was Just Java, and we were making the app and doing all the methods and all of this stuff and learning how to do that. And then they wanted us to create a new app and name it Chord Counter, and we learned some more stuff in there. And now on the lessons that I'm on right now, we are back in our Just Java kind of understanding everything behind the methods and really just diving deep into what the entire app is about and how to use it better. So I'm just gonna explain to you guys kind of what this was. So right now I'm in my activity main file, my XML file. So I used a couple different layouts. I used relative and linear, just so that I could get the right fit for mine. I started obviously with a relative layout and just made my initial screen. Then right here, we have in this inside of a linear layout, I have 2 different linear layouts. The first one is over here, my team A and my what will eventually be my score, and then my 3 buttons. So I have I did sizing and I did padding. So padding is so that it's not right up against the sides of anything. It kind of spreads everything out so it's easier to see, which I like. I did that for both sides. I have my IDs, especially for the biggest ID pretty much in this entire thing is both IDs for the team scores. So it basically when in my Java file, when it compiles my team score, this is where it will input it. And so by creating the ID, I've been able to create methods to use that ID. And then just on-click buttons so that when you click the buttons like this, they actually work and stuff. And then I have the same exact pretty much thing, except this entire one is for Team B, but it's a lot of the same stuff. And then I have my reset button down at the bottom. This one also has like some margins, and also has the on-click and everything like that. And then just the text reset, and that one works. So if I go over to my Java file, we have our imports, which basically just kind of help everything work. Our onCreate, so that our onCreate buttons work too. And then we have our different methods. So pretty much all of my methods here are public instead of private, so they work for the entire app. So I have these 2 initial variables kind of, which basically they're like overall public. So anytime, like down here, for this method, add 3 for team A, if I were to click this button, which if we go back to my activity main and we look for the one that says on click add 3 for team A right here, when I click it, the add 3, it's going to add 3 to the 0. So what I've done is I've basically made it so it says score team A. So score team A is equal to the original score team A and then you just add 3, and then it displays whatever the score team A is, which up here is a cumulative number. So every time you add a new number, it accumulates over time. So it's not just you add 3 and then it resets it back to 0, and you click 2 and it goes to 2. Every time you click the 3 button, it adds 3. And then when you click the 2 button, it'll add 2 to that previous score. And then if you click the free throw button, it adds 1. And it accumulates over time. And same with Team B. If I click that one a couple times or that one, they all add up. And then I can click this reset button down here, which is being called right here, which just takes both of the scores and resets them back to 0, and then displays that. It'll display this, and it goes back to 0. For both Team A and Team B, I had 3 different like public methods that were. I had one for each button, and then I had one for the overall. And then this was the kind of overall, which this was my display. And basically, it, like, using parameters and stuff, it realizes that the final number has to be an integer, which right here has to be an integer. So it'll take the cumulative, every time I click this button, in this button, and this button, it takes whatever is being added here and puts it here, and puts it into here. And then it just displays that. So I use, for all of my things, I use Gitkraken and GitHub. I love Gitkraken and GitHub. Right here, this is my Gitkraken. I have 3 different branches for my Gitkraken. My Court Counter that has all of my actual coding into it. My development, where I merge it after, so that, like, if I were to have over here in my just Java, I have 3 different lessons right now going on, and they were merged into development and then merged into main, so that if I had a problem with it, I would be able to take it out and look at it without actually damaging my entire thing. And it's really easy. So, like, if I go back down to here, here, let's just go here. This was updating XML with buttons and text views. So if I go over here and I click my activity main XML, I can see exactly what I changed. So the red is what was taken away and the green is what was added. So I added all these text views and stuff, and I got rid of the original hello world that it says every time you open a new project. I love Gitkraken. I don't know, I use Gitkraken for all of my stuff when I do coding. When I did Python, I did it, and now when I'm using Java and in Studio, I use it too, because you can, and like I even use it for my Cisco networking when I have like information, when I have my photos of like things I've screenshotted, or I have different files that have like notes. I put it all into there so that I can access it online on my GitHub. So over here I have my GitHub. GitHub is just a place on the internet where you can store all of your stuff and you can access it from any computer. So if my computer were to die, or it were to crash, or something was wrong with, like, I had malware issues, or it got hacked, or blah, 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 yada, 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 or it literally just, I lost it, or anything like that, I would still be able to get all of my coding as long as I committed it. As long as I committed it and made these commits. So if you have like a whip up here, that won't save unless you commit it. But if you commit it, it'll go onto your onto your GitHub, and I'll be able to access it from any computer, anywhere in the world, as long as I have internet and access to this website, and I can pull it. I can open up a new GitKraken, and I can pull all of this code that I have and put it onto a new computer, and then open up Android Studio, and it'll be right there. It's really easy and simple to do, and I just love doing it because it makes me feel safe using. Just kind of being able to use all of my stuff without fear of it all disappearing. So, if you go, like if I click on my quote counter inside of my thing, you have all of these different links and stuff that you can go to, or like places. So what you're going to want to do is follow a file path. So you go to app, then you go to src, then you go to main. From main, you have two options. You can go to your res, which will take you to your activity main XML, or you can go straight to your Java file, which goes to your main activity Java. And this is all of my Java stuff. And I can literally copy and paste all of that information and put it into a new place. And if I go back to main, and I go to res, and then I go to layout, and activity main XML, I can copy and paste all of this too. And all of like this stuff, if you can make it public or you can make it private, it doesn't really matter. If you want other people to see it, you can make it public, but if you want nobody to see it and you just want this to be your private little account where you have fun and kind of do whatever you want, you can make it public or private. It really doesn't matter. If you do make it public, anybody can see it, anybody can copy and paste your work onto their work. And another thing you can do here is you can make it a collaborative document. So I could add somebody from my class onto this, and the two of us would both be able to edit this, and you would both have your icons in here. As you can see, it says one contributor. I could add another contributor to this, and it would be multiple people who could contribute to this file. But like I said, I really do love using GitKraken and GitHub just because it makes me feel so much safer. I would really recommend it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya.